Hello, everyone. I'm here with Crepuscular. I'm here with Crepuscular and Emerson playing 3-player invasion chess. So the king and queen starting square, and then the 2 pawns in front of it. If you get to one of those squares and are not immediately captured, and I think we're going to go with immediately captured, meaning a full turn. So back to your turn, you think? You win the game. So that's... Let's see.
What's all this noise?
I'm gonna guess that's Crepuscular because it's not me, and you're the one confused about it. So.
I don't know what noise you're talking
about. It sounded just like moving around the microphone or computer or something.
That makes sense because I was plugging in this computer because it had been plugged in for a while. It was kind of low on power.
I see. What kind of computers do you guys have?
I don't really know. I mean, I guess the one I'm playing on, Mike and I kind of put together with a few different parts. It was like a refurbished one with new parts, but it's a Windows.
And this laptop I'm using is it's pretty old. Like I think at least 8 years old or so.
Okay. Wow, that's a long time. You've been keeping it up pretty well then. How's it treating you? Fuck.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that in particular.
I mean, is it like the battery life really bad?
I don't think so. Although it's slow sometimes.
Oh, the battery kept up for 8 years. That's incredible. So, how many gigs of RAM do you have?
I don't know.
If you could press a button, and a stranger dies, but you get $1 million, would you press it?
Whoa, you pre-moved.
Oh, I pre-moved?
Yeah.
What did I do?
You recaptured instantly.
Oh, with the pawn?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can pre-move if you predict the move, like the other player, and
yeah, a conditional pre-move.
I wasn't sure if they could I couldn't remember if you could pre-move on this site.
Conditional pre-move.
It took me a while to figure it out.
And they found out on 3-player chess, you can do a 3-move conditional pre-move. So if I would have guessed the pawn capture, the queen capture, I could have pre-moved mine. But that seems very unlikely in most situations.
Okay, also, what about the... you're asking about the hypothetical scenario, Vigo?
Yes. And I guess an additional one would be if you would push it, how many times would you push it? I guess not a perfect answer, but would you continue to push it for?
How would the stranger die?
I guess you wouldn't know.
Suddenly an accident that would kill them? Would they die instantly from a heart attack? Like, how would they die?
Would it be someone on death row that dies? Would it be?
Yeah, I mean, that would make a difference, wouldn't it? I mean, it might. It's nice to know. So you're the one who's making this, so what happens?
I mean, I guess that's just... There can be a lot of unknowns in hypotheticals.
Okay. So you just know that someone dies, but you have no idea how. It could have been...
Or who. Or...
Who.
This is the information you're
Or
given.
when.
You press a button,
You don't even
but one
know
stranger
when.
would die. I guess when you press the button, they will die then. That should be
Okay.
fine. Would you push the button, and if so, how many times?
Would anyone be able to know that I pressed it? Like, would it be...
I guess if there's blockchain, then they'll see the $1 million coming in, the transaction and whatnot.
But
But
people will be able to see it. Like, I'll be able to be held accountable for it or not?
yeah, sure.
I mean, I wouldn't do it anyways, either way, whether or not. An interesting thing.
Do you think? I mean, that could be like a trolley problem. Do you think you could save more lives with $1 million than killing one?
You're basically saying, is a human life worth more than...
Well, it's the trolley. That's kind of like the trolley problem is, if you knew you could save more lives with $1 million.
I think there's too many hypothetical removals. You know, like $1 million. Then I'm gonna do an organization that can somehow help someone. It's like, okay, dude. No, it's not like a direct problem. Like where like the trolley's a very direct thing. Like you make this decision, someone you know will not die. Like with that, it's like a hypothetical. And it seems too many steps removed to be like philosophically just for me.
I think the interesting thing about the trolley problem is how it's like people's responses to it differ a lot. Depending on like how it is that you change, the train's direction, from hitting, like 5 people hitting 1 people. Because most people are like, if you just push a button to change the direction, then most people are willing to do it. But it's like if you had to push someone onto the tracks to save the other lives, and less people would be willing to do it.
Yeah. With this, you're choosing to do it too. This isn't like you have to press the button. This isn't like if you don't press it, someone dies and you get $1 million. You know, like if you don't.
Go with an unfamiliar opening. I think it should just be 1 turn. I know that I think that's how we did siege chess. And that's definitely how we did squatter chess. One person. Well, I guess I gotta say that.
I don't think that's fair. You'd have to go all the way back around to you.
Say that again?
Shouldn't it have to go all the way back around to you? Like, come back to your turn, and you still have the piece there. Don't think so?
Yeah, that makes sense too. I mean,
What do you think, Crepuscular?
No, that does make sense.
I mean, to me, it makes a bit more sense, for it to be like it's not captured after both of the opponent's turns, because that makes it one full turn in the context of 3-player.
All right.
Yeah, I agree with that. We'll go with that. We were mentioning, I think, was it me and you, Emerson, that were talking about 3-check? Or maybe that was me and Mike. What 3-player 3-check would be?
Talk about it. Yeah.
If it would be 9-check, or if it would be like, if you get, if you check, would it be if you check the person for their last check you win, or like, I don't know exactly how that could really work. With it wouldn't be 3-check. Go ahead.
Would that be like whoever if you check either of the opponents, then you just if you check a total of 3 times first, then you win.
So if you check if one person checks a king 3 times, they win.
That would make sense, I think. Except that I feel like first player moving first would have a big advantage.
Yeah, maybe 4. I've done 4 check with S chess, Sarawon chess. And that was pretty normal. Or very similar to 3-check with S chess.
You, Travis?
No, it's not me.
It's like someone like saying no.
No.
Yeah, that was it right there. Some more good questions.
What would you do? Why don't you answer the question?
Oh.
Crepuscular didn't answer either.
Yeah, I feel like as the question giver, I mean, I don't know if I have to answer it.
You don't have to answer it, but why wouldn't you? Are you afraid of answering it, or why aren't you answering it?
No, because most of my philosophical answers are just, I don't know.
Is this one I don't know?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'd want to kill someone, but then again, if I knew, so I guess it would more come to like if I knew I could save lives with X amount of money, at what point do I do so, and how many lives am I saving for killing that one person? Or not, I guess not me killing that one person, but one person dying, and how many lives would I know for a fact, whatever that means, I could save with the money.
I think there's too many hypotheticals. I think that makes it immoral when you try to think that there's like 20 things that have to happen, but you're going to create one.
That's not 20. That's just.
But all of those different things are reliant upon other people's actions. So it's like you can't possibly. I mean, what scenario in what world would it getting $1 million is going to save? I mean, that creates a bunch of other hypotheticals.
Well, I mean, plenty of charity work or like disease. I don't know. There's plenty of things that could save a life.
Way removed, man. Like you're gonna give it to another organization.
No, I mean, but even yourself, if you knew you could create a cure for some disease for $1 million and freely give it out, I mean, or for less than $1 million.
You're talking about a huge hypothetical. You can create a disease for
a cure.
I don't know, man. It just seems too far removed, man. It just seems too far.
Well, I'm just okay.
Yeah, if, yeah, sure, then I do it.
But I think it's not extremely far. It's just if I knew I could. It's just one if. If I knew I could save, at least 5 lives.
How often in your life do you know you can save someone's life? Like how often does that come up in your life? Probably not that much.
I've saved someone. I've saved someone from drowning before. I don't know how much.
Yeah, but how often did that come up? Like what? Once or twice in your life? I mean.
Yeah. I guess twice. Once where I knew it was kind of only me, and then once where there was like a lifeguard, and they were doing it, and I was just watching. But I was a competitive swimmer in my childhood, so like in high school and whatnot. So watching lifeguards like trying to swim and save someone was kind of like, I don't know, I was a much better swimmer than most of the lifeguards that I knew at the time. So, but then the one I did was at a river, so like there was, just.
Wait, what?
Ooh, okay. Well, I mean, okay. So.
What are you about to do? Take my queen?
Yeah, his bishop's attacking your queen. Huh. So. Too bad I went with a non-threatening opening to not deal with this. You
have a good fortress, though.
Yeah, I'm going to maintain my fortress. But that's only half the battle, too. I still have to get, like, unless I just want to get a half a point. Okay, I'll just remain neutral. I'm glad my sneezing. I was sneezing like at least sneezed 5 times before. Like right before Emerson and I started playing, and I was like, "Oh, I hope that goes away." And I haven't really even been congested.
Crepuscular just win?
Didn't Crepuscular just win?
No, he didn't.
I don't know why he would. Yeah, I don't know if Fortress is good or not, because even though my bishops are there, like, because I was thinking putting them on the edge, like on the fianchetto squares, but those aren't really, like, focusing towards the middle either. Those are focusing towards the outside of the board. I mean, I know it gives good influence throughout the board, but it's not, these aren't going towards the middle either, so. Oh, sorry, it is my turn. Uh-oh.
What just happened?
Emerson dropped the call. Dropped his call, at least. I don't know if he's still on green chest. I can't really... I don't know if... I mean, I guess we'll find out. I'll get on. See if he's still there. Oh, he messaged me. Or did he message me? Nope. Well, he might be back. Okay, so he's still okay. At least he's still there. Man, you guys have been threatening each other all this time, and I've not been taking any advantage of that. Okay.
I'm not really sure whether it's like more difficult, like to reach the win condition in this variant or in squatter chess.
Well, squatter chess has a bigger range, I guess. It has more squares.
Sure. Yeah. The squares right in front of the king and queen are really heavily defended at the start.
Yeah.
Like, Crepuscular has maybe a little bit of a conundrum here.
Does he save his queen or his bishop?
I would say the bishop.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah.
Ooh. Bless you.
That an interesting sound, guys?
Just go ahead and mute your microphone next time you do that.
Really?
I mean, I guess you don't have to, but...
Why did you want me to mute it? You don't think the comedic effect was worthy?
Worthy.
Worthy of being done?
I don't know. It might have been engaging.
It was very engaging. Got everyone's attention and annoyed them properly. Okay, how do I, so Crepuscular's put me in a bad spot. I'm gonna need your help. MangoTownTravis.
MangoTownTravis?
Do this, and I don't think you can do anything about it. I pretty much think he's won the game.
I still need to get something protected.
Yeah, that's right.
Over
You have it. I don't care. Yeah, you're right. Who gives a shit? You're not gonna be able to do shit with it because you can't do anything yet. Thanks, MangoTownTravis. You just evened the odds for me a little bit. Thank you.
No problem.
Are you annoyed with me right now?
No. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a reason to be. I don't think. I'm not easily annoyed, I think.
The bishops are attacking each other.
Nah.
Oh.
Through the bishop power of diagonal lines.
Oh, I see the bishop power of diagonal. Diagonal bishop power.
Do you think babies are innocent beings? Or do you think they come out immoral? And if they are innocent, when do they stop being innocent?
I don't really believe in right or wrong, like objective truths.
Well, what about right and wrong subjective truths? There could be, there could be obviously.
I do believe in that. That's just saying you believe in hypotheticals, basically.
Well, so like, what do you mean? I mean, because there could be an objective truth that we know, like.
There's no objective truth.
Well, like, wouldn't we have an objective truth that we know for humans that putting like poison in the water is objectively worse than
but you
not
realize
putting
the word poison itself is a very, very subjective statement. You have to define
if you want me to give you a poison that does kill everyone at whatever dose, I mean, I can give you that, but.
Yeah, but is dying an objective bad? Like, that's what you seem to be saying. Why would you assume that death is even bad? You know, what's bad about death?
For the human race.
Subjectively bad about death. That's what I'm asking. Bad about death. Death is just a thing. You know, it can be good or bad. So I think the question presupposes some kind of objective bad about death.
More of an objective bad about destroying the human population.
Is that an objective bad either? Really sure about that.
I mean, if you commit a lot to unnecessary suffering for no reason, that seems.
But even that's hypothetical because the death of humans is not.
So you're saying the death of all humans is not objectively a bad thing? Is that what you're saying?
There's a lot of situations, I would say, in most situations I can comprehend it would be a bad thing. Objectively bad thing. Like, it's not just a bad thing no matter what.
Okay.
In most situations I can conjure.
In the human condition that we're living in currently, would human extinction be a bad thing?
Keep trying to put me in an objective box and are just rejecting that. You're asking me objectively based questions. I just pose like this. I feel like it's important to assert the non-objectivity of life. Yeah. Since this is all the hypothesis, I'm going to take the hypothesis and, like, as far as it can go, like the if statements. And, like,
I think we can have if-then statements. So, like, if we believe that... So, like, if we believe that maintaining...
Yeah, you just added this? Yeah, sure. If we believe, yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, so if we believe that maintaining the human race is desirable, then...
Objectively desirable. So it's just desirable in all situations?
No, is desirable in the current moment.
But it's always the current moment. So that doesn't really say anything.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about, like, if it's going to be desirable in 10 minutes from now. I'm not talking about that. So I guess I have to clarify in the current moment.
Yeah, sure. If it's objectively in the current moment what we want, then yeah, it would be bad. Yeah. Yes, you know. But like, I mean, yeah. If thens are, I don't know. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, so, like, what about health? Like, so if we knew something made us healthy, or like made us live 10 years longer. I mean, yeah, okay. I mean, I see what you're getting at, but like, there seems to be things that we could obviously agree on as humans, unless.
What I would agree with you is that there's things that seem to be universally accepted by humanity. And then that would be more grounds for me to agree. Like, I would say most humans agree that the extinction of the human race is a bad thing. I don't think it's an objectively bad or good thing, but what we can say about it is that most people think it is, I would say. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
That's the answer.
I would bet on those numbers.
Yeah. So, I mean, then you can start talking about that, and I think that matters because what people believe creates action. Important than my hypothetical statement of
what people believes creates action. What does that mean?
What did I say?
You said what people believes creates action.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you mean by that?
You act based upon your beliefs. So if people believe that the human extinction of like the
not necessarily
of the human race is bad, to be worked. That's going to create actions too.
I mean, people don't. Yeah, people. I wouldn't say people necessarily act on their beliefs. I mean, it's almost seems the opposite. People.
I mean, it depends on what beliefs you're talking about. Like, the belief in gravity does make people to act a lot. You know? I mean, depends on what. Yeah, but some beliefs people don't act on at all. I agree. Like, for shit about. But it's usually things I would say that they. I don't know. There's a whole question of does belief. I don't know. Yeah, but I agree with you. That people do not always follow what they believe. But I think in like an instance of gravity, people tend to do it. Tend to act based upon it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, they see it as guidelines, pretty much. Like it's a kind of like opening guidelines. They see it as guidelines, but that doesn't mean they're always going to do it.
Yeah, because the world's complex, and just because one set of beliefs can interact with another set of beliefs. Yeah, but yeah. So I think it's more healthy to talk about things as like, what do most people believe? Instead of talking about like what is right or wrong.
Well, I mean that's like I think that's because like
want to do.
That's like a commons, like belief of common. I forgot what it's called. I should know these. Like just because 9 insane men can agree on something doesn't mean, like, yeah, if 9 insane men agree on something, the 10th sane man will look insane. And the 9 insane people will look insane.
Yeah, but you realize you're importing an objective truth in that. You know, what is insanity?
Well, I'm just saying, I'm mainly saying just because, I mean, take religion. Just because a majority believes it doesn't mean anything, really.
And it does, though. Like, look at what actually happens in the world. Like, look at what actually happens. If a religion super big, it creates... You know what I mean? Like, if you just think about the facts of belief, if a billion people believe in something, something will happen. So it does matter, you know? When I say
it depends on it. I guess it would depend on what that belief is. It would depend on what the belief is. I mean, just because a billion people believe something.
What happens depends on the belief.
No, but
when you say like someone's insane,
yeah.
talk about a small group of people. Like 9 people are insane. But then when you say that, you're putting a judgment that implies there's more than 9 people in the world. You get what I'm saying?
I meant that as like a 9 out of 10, like kind of just. I mean.
Out of 10. So there's 10 people in the world.
Yeah, like if there's 10 people, yeah, it was like a 9 out of 10 situation. Like,
okay, so if there's 10 people in the world, and then you said 9 are insane, whatever that means, that's like a word that has no meaning, right? Because what does insane mean? You know what I mean?
It definitely has a meaning.
Something
I mean,
you don't like.
No.
It
I mean,
doesn't have any objective meaning. It's a very subjective statement. From whose perspective, and insane about what? You know what I mean? Like
what? Well, insane about what is definitely a question, but if I mean, we could definitely but we could judge. We could definitely judge if someone was mentally incapacitated in making. Yeah, like
unable to make decisions is what you're saying.
Yeah, unable to make decisions based off of that.
Unable to make decisions at all, or what? What do you mean? Just what?
Well, I know there's a clinical definition of it, but I mean, I don't know.
But that's what you're saying. So, is that insanity? Is that what your definition of insanity is? Is unable to make decisions?
No, that's not my definition of insanity. But I mean,
what I'm trying to get at.
But we do. But we do. I guess it could be more of like a Oh. Okay.
Help me out here, Travis. Come on, come over here. Help me out.
Well, I don't know if me coming over there helps or hurts or.
It's in my best interest for you to try to stop him from winning. It's in your best interest and mine. Okay, anyways, I like what you're talking about. I think it's interesting. I think come up with the situation. I don't know, because the word insanity, you're the one saying that, you know? I don't know. I think my moral system really does come a lot from saying, and like what are people saying, you know? I don't know. It's hard to. I don't know. I think majority does make right in some situations, because if you think of evolutionary paths, that's where things, our ideas and like our little makeup has come from. Just say, man. You have any thoughts on it? You're just gonna let me ramble, or what?
I mean, you give me some stuff to think about.
I don't know.
I've been thinking a lot about morality recently, and it's hard to. I don't know. It's hard to.
Hard. I think morality is like one of the deepest things you can think about.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, especially in a world where everyone, like, is so, maybe not everyone, but a lot of people, at least what some social media and internet shows, is a lot of people seem to think that they're right in a lot of scenarios when, I don't know, there's usually not a right answer or not a clear.
Also, I noticed that nobody's taken any of your of Travis's pieces yet.
Do you feel like you're like the good player in this game? I feel like Crepuscular's the only one who's playing like.
Well, my piece is like I've been thinking like I need to get my queen and like my bishops and stuff out. Like I definitely fortified myself, but
yeah, but I don't think that's really good for playing. Like Crepuscular's been.
Yeah, now I gotta work. Well, now I gotta make sure I can get a piece out in time, and before Crepuscular threatens you. Slash other ways of that happening. I don't know. Would you think it's? Well, I mean, when I say moral things, like we can ask ourselves, like, if we were in that situation, would we? Yeah, so like the trolley problem, if we're in the situation, so maybe not always if it's moral, but if we're in that situation, what would we do? I think that's.
What would we do, or what would I do?
What would I do?
To say we is also a problem.
What would you personally do?
I think those are the most important questions because those are the most applicable to life. Like that's how you live your life. Questions come up and you decide. Great questions, and those are questions that can always be answered. I mean, not always be figured out. It's hard to figure out what you want sometimes. Answers that are like not objective, right? Fitting in the question, it's a subjective thing. Great questions. So yeah. You see morality then? That's what you're saying? Group of situations and you have to.
Well, it could be a better question to ask than is it moral? It could just be is it.
Yeah.
What would you?
That's a way better question, in my opinion. But yeah, I would agree. I pretty much just have the only thing I can do is decide who wins.
And so about me answering questions. I think a lot of philosophy is more about figuring out how to ask the right questions than specifically answering them.
That's philosophy in a nutshell. Totally with you on that, dude.
Oh.
Was not the right.
Well, okay. That's interesting.
Take that free pawn, dude.
I could, but I could also check with the knight. And I could also move my queen out.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yep.
Surprised Kaprask hasn't. Like, it's interesting that you haven't won yet. Like, you're doing pretty well. Oh, like, I mean, you have a lot going for you.
Yeah. It's like for a moment when I played Bishop G10, I thought I might win that you noticed the threat.
Oh, so you were surprised that I was paying attention well enough after
for a while, you guys were really deep in that discussion. I wasn't really saying much, just more looking at the board.
I mean, I'm paying attention enough, I guess, but I that blunder of the queen was pretty fucking stupid on my part, but I at least paid attention enough to realize that you had doubled up on E12. Travis gets his shit out there, he might be able to start some pressure on you.
That's what I like to do with my shit.
Surprised you're not trying to do anything with that bishop, man.
I need to.
Well, the bishop's actually controlling a lot of squares from the corner.
Oh, like the being cut out bishop in this variant is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same in the square board. It's still also an amazing place. But it's even, well, I don't know. Is it more amazing?
I think it's better.
I wonder how many.
Well, it can move to more squares overall, just because. I mean, I know knights can move to more
Can
squares.
it though? No, we'd have to count all the squares and then see what percentage of squares it covers in comparison to the square board. More powerful than.
I guess that's
So
correct.
how many squares are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Well,
1, 2,
we
3.
each have our own half of the board.
There's 8. 8.
We each have 32 squares.
We each have 32 squares?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means 32 plus 64 is 96. Each have, there's 96 squares, and then a Fianchetto bishop has access to how many squares? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 96 is what? Divided by 96 equals 14% of the board. Other board, how many squares would it be taking up? 1. No, what does a regular board take up? Alright, let me play with it so that everyone doesn't get annoyed.
Well, I feel like it's primarily because on this board, then when the bishop's on a long diagonal, then it can attack both the opponents at once.
Yeah, so that's another factor that you can't really calculate with math. I'll quickly go figure that out real quick, though. I'm kind of interested. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bishop would cover 10 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So then 10 over 64. 15.6. Interesting. Really cover a little more space with a Fianchetto bishop board than you actually do in this in this hexagonal board.
Percentage of
Not
space?
what you would think, percentage-wise. But that's important, right? I mean, isn't that a good statistic?
Yeah, I mean...
Like, I have to think, Crepuscular, are you using that sound? Like, do you have control of that sound?
That sounded like a whistle more than anything, though.
But I keep hearing that same sound. Like, and you use it sometimes in spots where it feels like you're reacting to what is being said.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I can't tell if you're doing it in a comedic fashion.
Maybe it's
You
something
hear
about
that
the
sound?
computer.
Yeah, it could just... It kind of sounds like a computer booting up, too, or like a...
Can you not hear it, Crepuscular?
No. No.
No. Like, interesting. And sometimes when you use it, I'm like, oh wow, what is Crepuscular saying about what I said? Now I realize maybe you're not saying anything.
Oh, wow.
Tides have turned.
Why did I mess...
The tides have turned. 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 Crepuscular. Time to win. Oh, shit. Fuck, dude, look at you. Were you fiending that? Were you pretending like you were upset about that? Like you knew all along? Or did you just realize?
Well, my first reaction was, oh man, I didn't want my bishop to get captured.
Then you realize after.
Well, I mean, it's still like I can recapture, but I still don't want. I still would prefer to have my pieces on the board.
Dude. I feel just like the guy that's annoying in the street that's just like bugging you guys. Trying to play a game, and I'm just like.
But I invited you.
Actions.
And I continue to invite you.
No, isn't it crazy?
Slash, I don't even want to invite you. I want to just, I just have a regular time where it's just assumed that we.
I know. I'm just in your life by accident. Dude, is there a 3-player hexagon square chess?
Heck. Well, there's 3. I mean, it's not square. I mean,
no, you know what I mean? Hexagon squares. You know, they're not squares, but they're hexagonal shaped.
Yeah, there's two different. There's triad chess
You
and.
do that? You know what I'm talking about? Like basically have the same kind of board we played last game, but with 3 players. That's what I want to play with me, you, and Crepuscular. I feel like that would add such a level of complexity.
Are you looking at the stream currently, or are you like? Can you see my screen?
I'm
or
not.
Okay.
No, I'm not. You want me to pull up Twitch?
Well, just pull up the 3-player chess on green chess. I mean, either way. I mean, or Twitch. I mean, I can show it to you on my screen, or if you. Either way, I'm gonna
do it on Twitch.
Okay.
TV.
Okay. Tell me when you're watching my screen, because there'll probably be. The one thing I don't like about Twitch is they play an ad at the start, which you have no control over. I don't get to control the ad. I don't get any money from the ad.
I can see your screen, dude.
All right. There you go.
On, motherfuckers.
It's a 3-player hexagonal chess.
The ad's on, dude.
Huh?
Factions, man. They obviously haven't done my data too well.
So if you're looking at my screen,
know that men don't have yeast infections very often.
Look at my screen.
Now I can see your screen. Yeah.
So the only problem with this, the ones that we played this once before, and you have a lot of pawns and there's quite a lot of room. It just takes quite a lot of time.
So, what's your point?
I mean, I'm fine. It's just.
Let's do triad chess. Seems like it might not take as much time. There's not as much stuff. You know what I mean? Right?
They both took, when we played it just normally, they both took like an hour and 30 minutes around.
That's something you'd be interested in, Crepuscular?
Triad chess?
No.
Sure.
I'd want to do it like the variant we could do it with Glued King. That was the one but I want to do it with a variant that like has a very easy winning condition.
Yeah.
To make it go by somewhat faster. Okay. Maybe like all major pieces are royal. Glued King.
Better be careful here, Travis.
Why?
To win.
Who?
A Crepuscular. If you take my knight, you're gonna make him win. Actually, don't want to take my knight.
Wait.
No, that's not currently.
Yeah, because if you take the knight, then I'm not doubling up on E12.
Either is he?
Oh, yeah. I thought his queen was on h9. If he moves his queen to h9, then...
Yeah, he moved back because he saw the subtle checkmate.
Yeah, I never mentioned that out loud, but Travis just threatening check.
I was starting checkmate on Crepuscular with my bishop and queen, and I didn't realize it until after I moved my queen, but then I was just going to stay quiet about it in case it was not noticed.
Now you see...
I think I pointed it out on my screen, but...
That was a really sneaky mate threat.
Travis, you may still not want to take my knight, because if he moves down to h9, I mean, how am I going to stop it?
I mean, I may not. That's true.
Oh, no, you should take it, because then you can use yourself to stop it. You should take it. I feel like I'm just like a rabbit, and you guys are two wolves, like just tearing my body apart. Getting into my neck, like Travis has his teeth in my like buttocks, and Crepuscular has his teeth on my head, and you guys are just ripping my body apart. And it's like who ends up with more meat after the rip happens. A good analogy and metaphor. Vivid and clear.
Engaging.
Very engaging. Thank you. I'm always trying to be engaging.
Engaging to who?
Did you not take my knight? Did you decide not to take it?
That is correct. I'm somewhat
weird.
I mean, I'm somewhat worried about Crepuscular. I do want to win personally.
See, if you had taken the knight, you could still cover that space with your own queen after that. But you're right. No. You're right, because I'm not a threat at all to win. So you don't even want to take my pieces, right? Because it's not like, you know what I mean? It's like defeating me is not even the point of this game anymore.
Winning is. So, like, say I took your knight and he moved his bishop there. Or, I don't want my queen to be guarding the back, or, I don't know. I don't want my queen to be guarding the back, because then there might be a case, which I was looking at earlier, where I might have to sacrifice my queen for his bishop, because it's guarding his bishop.
There it is again.
Yeah, that was, I heard it too.
Oh. If that's like a ghost inside of his computer, that's like a demon.
Ghost in the machine.
Escape, but got locked inside the I don't know. Word is what I need to insert there. Tron. Like
I look at Crepuscular's side and then look at my fortress and think, wow, my fortress wasn't really necessary because Crepuscular is extremely wide open, except with just one rook. And
yeah, but you couldn't have anticipated how shitty I would play.
Well, it's not necessarily that. It's just like...
It is, though, because I opened my side up so quickly, and so your fortress never really was needed. It's like, I opened up so quick, it was better to not have a fortress, because then get to where you needed to. But if I had played well, then maybe the fortress would have been important.
All those people building walls instead of killing. Why protect yourself when you can go out and kill others?
Crepuscular's taken a long time to do this, and he's been the most focused on the game, so I wonder what his next move is. Interesting. Trying to double down on this pawn here. Oh? That seems not good for me. Who do I want to win? That's the real question I have to ask myself. fucking money moves, dude. Shout, he's about to promote that pawn. Promote that pawn, that's gonna fuck you up, dude. Stop that. It's kind of fun because I'm basically just watching a TV channel where, like, I can influence the outcome, but, like, it's still a TV show because, like, it's not, I can't win or lose, you know? Like one of those choose your own adventure, you know, the, what was that Netflix thing where you choose your...
Black Mirror Season 5's coming out in June.
Are they going to have more of those shows where you influence the...
No, I think that was, well, at least this Season 5 is not going to have that, but...
I didn't think it was that good, I'll be honest. It was like a gimmick.
I mean, it was a good story, it was a good episode, but I don't think it was...
I didn't even think it was a great story, dude. It's just kind of like, okay. I don't know, that's my opinion. What did you think?
I thought it was a good story.
Seemed like the show, like the choosing your own part, like they made that part of the story. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like they made that the actual story element about the story. I think it would be more effective if the choices wasn't the premise of the story itself. You know, a more powerful thing. But instead, they made choosing it like part of the actual choosing your own destiny, and I just think that made it gimmicky. It makes sense, or
yeah, I mean,
it'd be cooler if it was like a love story, and you just got to how it would end up. But
make bad decisions.
Hyper aware of how they were being.
See how all your decisions turn out to make your love hate you.
Yeah, or something like that. But like, I don't like the idea that the characters were like aware that you were making them do something. It's like, okay, like it's getting so meta, it just gets stupid. I'd rather just have it where you make a love story. You know, like you get to choose what happens. Whose turn is it? It's my turn. Oh. Oh. Actually really enjoying the show, guys. Thank you.
Likewise.
Engaging.
There's a lot. I mean, this one, it's we're at 1 hour and 4 minutes playing the game, so it has been a pretty longer game than most of our 3-player chess so far.
Do we have a lot of Twitch watchers right now?
There's more earlier. I mean, yeah, there's more earlier. Twitch does this thing where it doesn't really give an exact number all the time.
Are you streaming on YouTube?
No, on Twitch. Just on Twitch.
You stream on YouTube? Why don't you do that?
We've thought about it. That has to be taken because that's one of those. That's a royal square, or not a, or kind of a royal square, semi-royal square.
It doesn't have to be taken. I could leave it there. Like,
I mean, then he'd win, I guess.
Yeah. No, because then you would be required to stop him.
I can't. Yeah, I can't take him. You would be required, Travis. Yes.
You would be required. Oh, wow.
Double check promotion. Wait a second. Okay. So, if I take the bishop, I was planning to take the bishop anyway, and before I even saw that would be checkmate, actually, if I take now, then that it would just be checkmate.
If you take his bishop, it would be checkmate? It would be my checkmate.
Because then my queen is covering the escape square.
Yeah. I mean, feel free.
Whose checkmate would it be? Would it be your
checkmate? It'd be my checkmate. Whoever checks... I had to look this up recently. Whoever checks first gets the checkmate.
So you can't do that then. What you could do, dude, is take the knight, right? Because
but then you wouldn't be able to take
back with the bishop because I'm in check, right? But then once I move my knight, once I move my king, he's gonna take your queen. So that's Travis won. Chess, because even if one player sucks, it still makes the game interesting, because then it's just like...
I mean, these are always our first time testing out the 3-player variants as well, so, like, I try to keep it... I usually try to at least keep the 3-player more with discussion than... I mean, we've had good play, but... like, you can't always... With teaming up and stuff like that, you can't always, like... you know, you're not as solely responsible for your winning conditions as you are in 2-player chess, I guess.
I could play queen h3 check as well.
You make me look up these coordinates on this board. h3, h... Ah, okay, yeah, h3. Yeah. That was a little easier.
Should do it. You guys want to take it to the next level and like start that all of our faces are shown together? Wouldn't that be incredible?
I think I could do that on... I mean, I've been thinking about doing that. It hasn't really been necessary.
I think that would make the stream more engaging if everyone could see all of our faces.
I know we'd need to do it on Skype instead of Discord. And I don't know what's... I don't know what Skype is. I don't know what it's like with multi-person.
You be down for that, Kripus, or not?
Well, I thought I would like to try that sometime. Like being on stream with the camera. Maybe.
I mean, I have Mike here a lot, like on camera, either 2-player or 3-player. So.
House. It's not like.
Well, he's in the same room as me.
Yeah. This would be different. Would our internet connection need to be pretty strong? Like, would that be a problem?
I mean, I would guess that video Skype takes up more bandwidth, I guess. I don't know. Internet access, whatever it is. Than Discord. Yeah.
When I use the word bandwidth, like, it was like at Shenley Park or whatever, and like no one knew what the fuck I was talking about. And I was like, I don't see myself as a computer person, but like no one had any idea what that fucking word meant. I was like, weird moment, dude. these basic facts about the internet, you know? It's like... Tusk is making hard.
I don't know if there's anything.
I don't think
basically, there's some moves that prevent you from getting necessarily immediately.
Couldn't you check on H3?
Yeah, and then you would be forced to play. You'd be forced to play King J10, and then Travis could checkmate you.
Oh, I see. I shouldn't have said that, man, because he might not have figured that out.
Yeah, I still have to figure out checkmate out. I mean, it's a little easier. Green chess gives you the squares your king can move to. Not that, I mean, I guess. But.
This turn. The board's not showing whose turn it is.
It's Crepuscular's.
It's my turn now.
Nah,
Okay.
sure.
Wow. My board showed 2 different outcomes.
So basically, having 2 queens of the last 2, the last 2 ranks is just too powerful here.
But I can't get in currently.
Yeah, the funny thing is, all the squares are still covered.
You could somehow get your rook involved, you might have a chance, but...
Yeah, but that would take more turns. I think getting my knight involved, or a bishop even, would probably be better than a rook currently.
And that's a possibility. Dude, I think what we should do to Travis now is just make a time limit, like he has 5 seconds. That's the only way to make this interesting. Alright, ready? 5, 3. See, that's when you use that sound again. And like
I would enjoy a clock. I would enjoy that.
Dude, you know how much better the game would be with the clock? Because it would like
Objectively or subjectively? Yeah, definitely.
Fuck you.
But the problem would be someone running out of time, and then the game being like kind of annoying because 2 play.
Yeah, but would it be annoying or just would it be?
Well, say we got to this point, and then you ran out of time.
It's fine.
Yeah, and then Crepuscular me tie. Like, wouldn't that would be somewhat annoying?
Oh, I see. Could do is like, what if the time? If times were variable, so that if you were losing, or time, or something, in 3-player variant. There's some formula to calculate.
Well, still then, if you're winning and you run out of time, like, I don't know. I mean, I like the idea of a clock, but I guess it'd definitely work a lot better on 4-player, 2v2, but.
Okay, I'm resigning.
No, because then we don't have
man. What are you talking about?
Because Crepuscular could still win.
Oh,
well, I actually could almost this position then almost have a way of checkmating you, but not quite because your king can do I-10.
How could you checkmate me? Oh, I don't see some. See, I'm at this weird point where like I can't. Man, like something happened and I can't see what the actual moves are.
Try refreshing. I moved to
I did.
J12 to put your king in check, and it's Crepuscular's turn.
Crepuscular moves, I can't really see what actually happened for some reason. Alright. On my board, I took Crepuscular on F10 with my king.
You didn't take anything with your king, but your king moved there.
But on my screen it shows that.
What did you take?
His queen on F10 on my screen.
Oh, that's weird.
How I got the screen. Yeah, I don't know how. And there's no...
That's weird.
Definitely try to refresh. I mean, or like exit out and come back. I mean...
Yeah, I know how to hit refresh. Right click on the tab, and then I hit...
F5.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
So does Crepuscular not even have a queen?
I took his queen. Like, that's what my screen shows. But it doesn't show any white circle next to whose turn it is.
Okay.
Has Crepuscular moved yet?
No.
No.
Once he moves, I'm pretty sure my screen will lock into the real position.
I'll let you know when he moves.
I'll know anyways. You don't need to let me now.
Well, if your screen's messed up, I mean.
Know that it's going to lock in because this has happened before in other parts of the game. Moved, it locked into where it was. Or, well, I guess I don't know if it was as soon as they moved, but judging by your reactions, it seemed to be. Crepuscular is still thinking?
Yes.
I think it's just this maiden. It's just interesting how there's so many ways I could check you, and it's like you wouldn't be able to take me because it'd be also be checked from trap.
All right, he has moved.
I conclude that nothing works here.
My screen locked into place. 11.
Cool. Great game.
Actually went in two ways at once.
A checkmate with the... Yeah. Well, I guess it's not my turn yet, so I didn't win that way. Great game. Thanks for watching 3-player Invasion Chess. Hope everyone enjoyed it. Play with Wesker and Emerson. Watch some more 3-player chess on our channel. Yeah. Goodbye.